Hey there, yogis. Heidi here, bringing you today a video that is great for any of my yogis that are runners. This is also great if you're not a runner. It's just a great flow, but it will be focusing on some of the main muscle groups that we use when we jog, when we run. That's also the same as if you are a walker. If you walk, it'll also be good for you as well. And just like any yoga class for anybody that is ready to practice. But yeah, so with that in mind, go ahead and let's actually begin reclining in Supta Baddha Konasana, so reclining butterfly pose. As you make your way onto your back, bring the soles of your feet together, letting your knees open. So we're already getting into the inner thighs. If it feels okay, resting your arms down by your side, palms up. Using this time to tune into the breath. Tuning into this space and this time that you've created for yourself, for your body, for your practice. Letting the breath slow and letting the mind slow. Allowing yourself to be fully present in your body, fully present in your practice. And taking about 3 to 5 more breaths here. And then very slowly draw your knees in to touch. Heel toe your feet out as wide as your mat, letting your knees knock in. Little counter stretch in the hips. Continue to focus on the breath, letting the breath enter and exit the nose. Then very slowly draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze, rock side to side. Cross your right ankle over the left knee, making a figure 4 with the legs. Then interlacing your hands behind your left thigh. Extend your left leg up towards the sky. Roll the ankle while drawing the knees into your chest. Then gently dropping your left knee down or your left ankle down. So you can draw your left knee in a little bit deeper, deepening the stretch in the right hip. Flex your right foot, and then slowly release, uncrossing the right, switching sides. Left ankle crosses over your right. Interlace your hands around the back of your right thigh. Extend that right foot up towards the sky. Roll your ankle. Point and flex, wiggle your toes. And then bending the knee, dropping the ankle down, drawing your knees into your chest, deepening the stretch in that left hip, flex your left foot. And then very slowly releasing, uncross the left ankle from the right knee, hug your knees into your chest. Extend your right leg out, hug that left knee in nice and tight, almost as if you were drawing it up into your left armpit. Flex your left foot. And then extend your left leg out, draw your right knee in again. Interlace your hands around your right knee, flex your right foot. Draw that right knee up into your right, towards your right armpit. And then release it down, draw both knees into your chest. Wrapping your arms around as much as you can, hugging your knees into your chest. Deep breaths into the belly. And then very gently begin to rock and roll till you roll all the way up to a seated position. From the seat, draw your left knee in, keeping that right leg nice and straight so your right ankle is in line with your right hip. Inhale, lift your arms, lift your gaze. Exhale, reach forward towards the right foot. Keep that right foot flexed towards your face. Doesn't matter if you can reach your toes or your ankles, your shins. Wherever you can find connection, hang on to. Drawing your nose down towards your knee. Inhale, lift the heart and chest. And then exhale, extend the left leg. Draw the right knee into your inner thigh. Inhale, lift the arms, lift the gaze. Exhale, reach forward. Again, we're keeping this left foot flexed and active here. Doesn't matter what you can hang on to, ankle, shin, toes. Inhale to find length. Exhale to draw your nose down towards your knee. And then very slowly inhale, rise all the way up. Extend both of your legs out. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, find length, reaching through the heart. Exhale, draw the heart center down towards your chest. No, your heart center down towards your thighs. Inhale to release. Crossing at the ankles, rolling forward, hands and knees. From hands and knees, step your right foot to the outside edge of your right pinky finger, and then walk your left knee back a little ways. Really making a nice deep lunge here, deepening the stretch. We're going to just rock back and forth. So hands down to the earth, top of your left foot to the earth. Just shifting your hips forward and backwards, just finding a little movement in the hips and into the back of your leg. And then inhale, drawing your hips forward. Exhale, drop down onto your elbows if you can, to your forearms. Breathing here for 3 breaths. Pressing down into the palms. You're wanting to stay strong in the shoulders. Don't collapse into your shoulders. Then very slowly rise back to hands to your palms. Step the right foot back to meet your left. Adjust as you need. Maybe shake the hips. And then step the left foot forward to the outside edge of your left pinky finger. Again, we're going to lengthen our stance. So I take my right leg back a little bit farther behind me. And then shifting your hips forward and back for a few breaths. Thinking about the hamstrings and your hip flexors, so the backs of your legs and the front of your thigh. In the front, or the front of your hip, I guess. Couple more moments of movement. Finding stillness, inhale here. And then as you exhale, lower down onto your forearms. Again, we're not collapsing into the shoulders. We're staying strong in the upper body. Two more breaths here. And then very slowly rise up to your palms. From your palms, step that left foot back to meet the right. Take a few moments here, finding some movement. Maybe rolling your spine between cat-cow. Maybe sinking back into child's pose. Inhale, draw yourself to hands and knees. Tuck your toes under. Lift your hips up and back into your first downward facing dog. So today we're thinking about our legs. So kind of forget about your arms for right now. I still want you to think about spreading your fingers wide and taking that strain off of the wrists. but focusing more on the hamstrings and the hips today, not so much your shoulders or your arms. So we're actually going to shorten our stance. Walk your feet forward until your heels can touch the ground. If your heels can't touch the ground at all, that's okay. You can just work towards that. But finding a stance where you can touch your heels down to the floor, and then bend your knees one at a time, sinking into your hips one at a time. Rolling up onto your tiptoes, roll almost as if you're going to roll over your toes to really scrunch the toes, work the toes. If you're a runner, you're putting your feet into shoes and you're pounding them up probably onto pavement or on a treadmill. So sometimes they just need a little extra love. Okay, finding stillness here in this shortened stance, downward facing dog. If your heels can touch the ground in this stance, try lifting all 10 toes up off of the mat, pressing into your heels. 2 breaths here with all 10 toes lifted. Nice, relaxing through the toes. Step your right foot forward. Keep your left heel lifted. Inhale. Woo. For a runner's lunge, so we're just shining the heart forward. We're lunging into this right leg, but this left leg is staying nice and active. I'm pressing through my left heel, and then I'm drawing my hips down. I'm trying to bring my pelvis down towards the space behind my right heel. Getting a deep stretch here in that left hip flexor, as well as warming up the outside of your right hip. Take an inhale here. Exhale, ground your left heel down to the floor. And then slowly walk your hands and your right foot to face the same direction as your left foot. So now we're here in a wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, find length. Exhale, fingertips to the earth or palms to the earth. Shift to the left. So bend your left knee. Shift your hips to the left. Straighten your left leg. Inhale. Exhale, bend your right knee. Shift your hips to the right. Should feel a nice stretch to the inner thigh. Inhale to straighten. Exhale to the left. Inhale to straighten. Exhale to the right. Inhale to straighten. Exhale, surrender to the fold, drawing the crown of your head down towards the floor. Shift your weight into the balls of your feet, lifting and expanding through your sit bones. Inhale, half lift, low belly draws in. Exhale, walk your hands back towards the right foot. Right toes point forward. All right, so while we're here, fire up this left leg. Draw with your left inner thigh forward. Inhale, rise up, Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. All right, so here this leg is super active here in this inner thigh, and I'm pulling this left hip forward, bending deeply into the right. Arms relax. Core is engaged. Maybe your gaze is forward. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, straighten your right leg. Keep a micro bend in your right knee to avoid hyperextension. Inhale here. Exhale, reach forward. As far forward as you can go. Pause. Exhale. Inhale again, reach. And then exhale, fold down, reaching for the inside or the outside of your right leg. Again, my right knee stays bent to avoid hyperextension. With a big inhale, lift your left arm up and over, reaching your left arm forward. So it's like an extended triangle pose. One more inhale here. Exhale, both hands down around the right foot. Draw your nose down towards your knee. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale again, lift. This time lift your left heel up off the mat. Bend into your right knee. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale here, 3 knee taps. Exhale, tap your left knee down. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, tap your left knee down. Inhale, lift it up. One more time, exhale, down. Inhale, up. Take an inhale here. We're going to transition to balancing on the right leg. Exhale, step forward. Reach your left hand back to grab your left foot. Hug your knees in together. So imagine that there's a zipper in between your inner thighs. So you're zipping up your inner thighs. And then you're drawing, ooh, I'm falling over. You're drawing your left heel towards your left glutes. I like to use both hands because that also opens up my shoulders at the same time. Drawing that heel to your hip. Take an inhale here. Still keeping those knees as strong here. So you're still drawing that left knee inward. Begin to hinge forward, kicking your left foot into your hands. Take another inhale. Exhale, slowly stand. Release the left foot to the earth. Inhale, sweep the arms, lift the gaze. As you exhale, take your feet wide, heels in, toes out. Sink your hips all the way down, Malasana, Yogi Squat. Inhale, shine the heart. Exhale, hands to the floor, lift your hips. Forward fold with your feet as wide as your mat. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, plant your hands. Again, just like that, inhale, lift the heart and chest. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back to high plank. From high plank, take the left knee to your left elbow, send it back. Right knee, right elbow, send it back. Left knee towards your chest, send it back. Right knee towards your chest, send it back. Left knee, right elbow, send it back. Right knee, left elbow, send it back. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Inhale, lift the heart and chest. Exhale, lower. Drawing your knees again in together as if they were zipped up tight. Bend your knees. Then reach your hands back towards your feet. Hooking on to your left and your right foot with your left and your right hand. Kick into your feet. Inhale, lift the heart and chest. My knees are staying together, but I'm kicking with my feet to lift the heart and chest. 2 more breaths here. Really deep belly breaths. Exhale slowly to release. Palms underneath your shoulders. Inhale here. Exhale, press to downward facing dog. Again, in downward facing dog, we're shortening our stance so that way our heels can press down onto the earth. Thinking about lifting up, spreading the sit bones. Take one more inhale here. And as you exhale, slowly step your right foot towards your hands, pivoting the direction of your feet, finding yourself again in this wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale here. Exhale, sink to the left, press into the right. Inhale, lift your hips. Exhale, sink to the right. Bend that right knee. Inhale, lift. Left side, exhale, sink the left hips down, or the left knee down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sink into the right. Inhale, lift. Exhale, surrender to this wide-legged forward fold. Shift your weight into your toes. Lifting and spreading through the sit bones, getting a nice stretch in the backs of the legs, into the inner thighs. From here, walk your hands around your left foot. So pivot your left toes forward. Right foot stays parallel to the edge of the mat. Okay, so I'm lunging into this left leg. Again, I'm drawing that inner thigh forward in the right side. Inhale, rise up. Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. So I'm really using this inner thigh muscle to pull that right leg towards the left hip. I'm lunging into my left leg. Maybe arms come out to a T, maybe gazes forward. One more inhale here. And then as you exhale, straighten your left leg. Inhale, reach. Again, we're not bending or straightening it all the way. Inhale, reach. Exhale here. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Reaching for the inside or the outside edge. Inhale, sweep your left arm up and over for an extended triangle pose. We're working towards stretching and strengthening this left hamstring. So we're not hyperextending that left knee. Keeping a nice bend, nice micro bend in it to work the muscles. One more inhale here. Exhale, both hands down around the left foot. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, draw your nose down towards your knee. Inhale to lift. Exhale, down. This time as you inhale, lift your left foot, your right heel, lunge into your left knee. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale here, preparing 3 knee taps. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale here to prepare. We're going to step into that left foot. Right leg lifts. Wow! Maybe falling over. Maybe not. Reaching back. Zipping your knees up together. Knees hug in. Reaching back for the foot with both hands. Open up through the heart and chest. Draw your heel towards your hip. Strong stance here. Still hugging your knees in together. Reach the heart and chest forward. Kick your right foot into your hands. Finding your balance. Very slowly rise back up. Exhale. Release the right foot down to the earth. Inhale, sweep the arms. Step the feet apart, hips, heels in, toes out. Exhale, sink your hips all the way down, Malasana. Inhale here. Exhale, palms down, hips up, wide-ish, legged forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands. Step your feet back to high plank. From high plank, draw your right knee towards your nose. Send it back. Left knee towards your nose. Send it back. Right knee, right elbow. Send it back. Left knee, left elbow. Send it back. Right knee, left elbow. Send it back. Left knee, right elbow. Send it back. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, halfway lower down. Pause. Inhale here. Exhale, lower all the way down onto your belly. Inhale, lift the heart and chest. Exhale, lower down, bending your knees, lifting your heels. Reach back for your ankles. If you can, cross your arms. So reach the right hand to the left foot and the left hand to the right foot. Yeah, the left hand to the right foot to the left hand, and then kick into the feet. Maybe kick into the feet with your arms crossed. 3 breaths wherever you are, crossed arms or not. Knees hug in nice and tight. And release all the way down. Take an inhale here, plant down through the palms of your hands. With an exhale, press yourself up and back into downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, shortening your stance, pressing into your heels, lifting all 10 toes for a count of 3. Really expanding and lengthening through your sit bones. And then slowly dropping all the way down onto your knees. Coming down onto the mat, onto a seat. From here, you're going to take your left heel towards your right hip, underneath your right leg. And then you'll take your right heel towards your left hip. We're stacking our knees on top of each other. Then I press into the soles of my feet, lift my hips and to situate, because a lot of times here in this posture, your right hip wants to pop up off of the mat. So by doing a little flesh shift, I'm able to really root down through my sit bones. Excuse me. My heels go pretty far back towards my hips, but if that's not accessible, you can draw your heels away from your hips, that's fine. We're just working towards stacking the right knee on top of the left for Gomukhasana, cow face pose in the legs. Inhale, stay lifted. This might be enough in your hips. If you'd like a little extra, you can melt your heart down towards your right knee. I like to take my palms down to the earth in front of me. Just deepens the stretch in my right hip. If you can, close your eyes. We'll be here for 3 more breaths. Breathing into the right hip and to the left. And then very slowly rising all the way up. Uncrossing your legs, first extending them out in front of you, giving them a little shake. And then preparing for side 2. So first your right leg will go underneath your left hip or your left leg, drawing your right heel back towards your left hip. And then you'll stack that left knee on top of your right. Same thing, left hip back towards your right hip. Keep in mind the left to the right side is going to be totally different, so maybe your left hip is a little bit more open than your right or vice versa. So just be mindful that one side to the other can be different. And then we want to situate our flesh, so you can either use your hand to kind of pull that right cheek out of the way so you can really root down through your sit bones. I like to press up to do it. So it's just kind of preference, however you like to get there, but really allow yourself to feel both of your sit bones grounding down into the earth. And then again, if your heels need to be closer to your hips, pull them closer, or they can be farther away or somewhere in between. Staying here, or if you'd like again to fold forward, you can melt your heart down towards your left knee, bringing your palms out in front of you. We'll be here for 3 breaths, so breathing, maybe closing the eyes. allowing yourself to surrender. Surrender into your hips. Surrender into this posture. And then very slowly rise all the way back up. Extending your legs out. Giving them a little shake. So this next pose that we're going to do is called Hero's Pose. We're actually going to do half Hero's Pose. So if you are familiar with Hero's Pose and you know it's too intense on your knees, you might want to find a blanket or a pillow to sit on. So from here, what we'll do is we'll extend our right leg out straight and we'll keep that right leg flexed. Then we'll draw our left foot and we'll tuck, just like we did in that standing pose when we were drawing our hip toward, or our heel towards our hip. And we're going to hug our knees in together. So my knees are touching. That is very important to keep those knees together, touching. That protects your knee. And your toes are untucked. The top of your foot is laying on the mat. Maybe this is all you need. Maybe keeping those knees together, you'd like to lower down onto your forearms. If you see that there's space between your inner thighs, you need to zip those legs together, pull those knees in tight. Also, if you feel any pinching or really excruciating pain in your left knee, you need to back off. That is a bad sign. This stretch is focused towards stretching out the top of your thigh and a little bit into your knee, but we are not trying to force our knees to do anything they don't want to do. Then very slowly rise up, taking your time. I lean over to one side in order to extend that left leg out. I'll spin this way so you can see. So left leg, going to be strong and straight, extending out. Take the right foot back towards my right hip. Top of my right foot is on the mat. My knees are zipped together, holding them nice and tight together. Then very slowly I can lean back onto my elbows. But again, my knees are staying touched. My inner thighs are together. And I'm feeling this in the top of my leg. If you feel any pinching or super major discomfort in the knee, please back off. It's so important to listen to your body, especially when it comes to our knees. 3 more breaths wherever you are. And very slowly rise up. Roll to the left in order to remove the right from underneath the left. Shake out your legs. From here, we'll transition onto our hands and knees. I'm actually going to do it forward. Take your right foot and step your right foot forward. Then as you exhale, take your hips back. Keep your left toes tucked under. Draw your hips back towards your left. Take your right pinky toe and twist your right pinky toe towards the floor. Yeah, so this is like a little getting into the IT band and a little bit into the hamstring. So my hips are going back towards my left heel. My right pinky toe is twisting my right leg open, pressing down into the mat, the knife edge or the pinky toe edge side of my right foot. And then slowly come forward, switch it out. Left foot forward, right leg back. First, you take your hips back, flex your left foot, and then twist that left pinky toe open to the left, working towards stretching that left IT band. And then very slowly unwind. Then make your way onto your back. However you need to get there. Nice and slow. Cross your right knee all the way over your left leg, like a lady would cross her legs. Then take your hands, grab your left foot with your right hand and your right foot with your left hand, holding on to the outer edge, the pinky toe edge side. You can gently flex your feet and pull your feet apart and it should stretch. So you're pulling your feet towards the left and to the right. Should feel a nice stretch in the hips. One more inhale here. I like to rock side to side. And then slowly release, crossing the left over the right. This time, grabbing the feet again and rocking side to side. Breathing here. And then slowly releasing your feet down to the floor. From here, if you need any final movement, if you need a bridge pose, to windshield washer, your windshield wiper your feet, your knees. Maybe you need a full supine twist, a reclining twist, or shoulder stand. If you're a runner, ending your practice with feet up the wall is always a wonderful, wonderful option. It's just nice to elevate your feet. And then we're going to seal off our practice in Supta Baddha, same position that we started. Bring the soles of your feet together, letting your hips open, letting the inner thighs open, resting your palms by your side. Taking a few deep cleansing breaths here. Inhale through the nose, exhale out the mouth. Letting the body soften, letting the body release. Taking this time to honor your body and to honor your efforts. Finding rest in Shavasana. Feel free to stay here in Shavasana as long as you'd like. If you're ready to begin to come out of Shavasana, wiggling your fingers, drawing your knees together, heel-toeing your feet out to the side, extending your legs out, reaching your arms overhead, taking a deep full body stretch. Inhale here. And then as you exhale, slowly make your way onto one side, fetal position. And then very slowly using your hands to guide you, keeping your eyes closed or the gaze soft, making your way into a comfortable seated position. Bringing your palms to touch, resting your thumbs at your heart center. Bowing into yourself, bowing into your strength, bowing into your love and your light. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste. Thank you again for sharing your practice with me, and I look forward to practicing with you in the future. As always, if you have any comments or requests, please feel free to reach out. You can leave a comment here on YouTube. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, and